What if I told you that all your professional knowledge, everything you've learned, could be treated like a financial asset? I'm talking about something you can literally deposit, watch it grow, and then cash in for real-world rewards. Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today with this really cool concept, the Think Plus Learning Bank. It's a bank for your brain.
I mean, just think about it for a second. All those training sessions, the projects you've poured your heart into, the years and years of hard-won experience, is all that just sitting there on your resume? Or could it be actively working for you right now, just like money in the bank? That's really the big question we're going to tackle here.
All right, so here's the game plan. First, we're going to break down what this whole bank for your brain idea is all about. Then we'll get into the fun stuff, how you earn and deposit your learning currency, what you can actually buy with it, and there's even a special shortcut for the seasoned pros out there. And to wrap it all up, we'll go over the important fine print, the stuff you really need to know.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, a bank for your brain. And the key idea to grasp here is that we are talking about something way beyond, a dusty old filing cabinet where you just shove your certificates. No. This is a living, breathing, dynamic ecosystem for your knowledge, built for the crazy, fast-paced world we're all working in.
So, what is it really? At its heart, the Learning Bank is a platform where you can stack up your CPD hours, continuing professional development. But the best way to think about it is exactly like a financial bank, but for your brain. Every single hour of learning you do becomes a real valuable asset that you and only you get to control.
Okay, so that sounds pretty cool in theory, right? But how does it actually work? Let's get practical and talk about earning that learning currency. How you actually make deposits into this intellectual bank account of yours.
It's actually a really simple three-step cycle. First, you register. Just submit your CV, your existing certificates, all that good stuff. Then, the experts take a look at your profile and give you some solid advice on your CPD potential. And finally, the best part, you use those banked hours to unlock new professional milestones. It's this awesome, continuous loop of growth.
And this, for me, is one of the most powerful parts, how flexible it is. You can deposit currency in so many different ways. Of course, you can attend their online classes, but you can also convert your past work experience, old training certificates, even relevant volunteer or CSR activities. And get this, you can even bring in training hours from other providers. It's all about recognizing that learning happens everywhere.
And when it comes to their own classes, the math is beautifully simple. 1 hour of a Think Plus class gets you 1 CPD hour in your account. That's it. No complicated formulas, no hoops to jump through, just a straight-up one-to-one conversion.
Now, of course, getting all this learning formally recognized isn't free, it's part of the investment in your own career. So to get that official certificate of attendance for 1 CPD hour, the fee is 150 ringgit.
Okay, now check this out. They have this really clever feature they call the external pollination policy. For every 5 hours of relevant training you've done somewhere else with another provider, you get 1 free CPD credit in your Think Plus account. I mean, how cool is that? It's a fantastic way to get rewarded for all your learning, no matter where it happened.
All right, so you've been making deposits, your account is growing. What's the payoff? Well, now it's time to cash in. This is where you take all those assets you banked and use them to buy some really valuable credentials that can seriously supercharge your career.
Just take a look at this. This is the professional pathway for the ISO 1702 certification. You can see it right there. You can start as ESG personnel with just 16 CPD hours. From there, you can level up to assessor, then coach, and finally, all the way up to consultant, just by banking more hours and, of course, paying the associated fees. It's such a clear, tangible ladder for you to climb.
And hey, if you've got even bigger ambitions, the bank has you covered. It doesn't stop with that certification. Once you hit 30 CPD hours and you complete a final project, you can start aiming for some really high-tier qualifications, like an executive diploma or even an executive master's program.
But maybe you're listening to this and thinking, hey, I've already got a ton of experience under my belt. Well, that's where the Experienced Pros shortcut comes in. I love this analogy. Think of it as the private wealth lane. It's for validating a whole career's worth of learning.
So the magic number you need to remember here is 45. If you can show that you have 45 or more hours of relevant training from your past, you might not even need to attend any new classes. You could qualify for this special, expedited bypass path.
So here's a quick checklist for you. Just ask yourself, do you have the certificates that add up to 45 plus hours?
Is that training relevant to fields like ESG, management, or technical areas? Is your CV up to date and highlighting all those great projects? And do you have digital copies of everything ready for an assessment? If you're nodding your head and saying yes to these, you're probably in a great spot for this shortcut.
Now, this validation service does have a fee. You can see the costs for the portfolio review right here on the bypass path. But think about what you're getting. It's an investment to get all that amazing experience you have formally recognized without having to go back to square one. That's a pretty big deal.
All right, we're on the home stretch. Let's cover the last section, what you need to know. This is basically the essential terms and conditions for your new intellectual bank account.
Okay, this is a really important distinction to understand. The certifications here are industry-led. They are not MQA recognized, which is the national academic standard. So what does that mean for you? It means these programs are laser-focused on building practical, competent person skills, the stuff you can use on the job tomorrow. It's all about immediate, functional use in the corporate world, not just academic theory.
And here's another really important piece of the fine print, just to set the right expectations. Let's be super clear. The CPD points you accumulate here can only be used to reduce credit hours for programs offered by Think Plus Academy itself. They are not transferable to other universities or institutions.
So there you have it, a system that lets you treat your knowledge not just as something you have, but as a real investment, one you can actively manage and grow. When you think about it like that, it all really boils down to one simple question. Your career is your single greatest asset. So, are you ready to bank on it?